All right, we're going to get into this next question. Being single, will we ever find the right godly mate?
But boom.
There's some single women sitting out here. And they all quiet.
Everybody is quiet.
Yeah, and I think you will. Whoever asked that question, and just like the women ministered to me earlier, the best thing to do is to love yourself first.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I read this article about love languages. Like we're always trying to figure out what's our love language, but maybe we should start using our love language on ourselves.
Wow.
Like maybe we should start if your love language is money and gifts, how about we start buying ourselves gifts?
Yeah.
And if our love language is time, maybe you should start taking walks or vacations, like things like that. So that's my advice.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah. So
That
until you find that person that matches your love language, practice your love language on yourself.
Wow.
That's good. That's good.
I just learned that from y'all. Today.
That's funny.
Next, harvest.
I got a seed in the ground.
That's good. And I think it's also important to just keep yourself open, and not box yourself into a certain type, a certain kind. And you don't know which avenue they may be coming into your life from. Whether it's your job or, somebody at the bank who you see all the time, or, somebody at church or what have you, online dating. I mean, I know we have different views on it, but it's still an avenue that God can send you your mate through. So I think it's just being open and willing and availing yourself to, receive what God has for you. Yeah, being open, and also I think for a lot of women, and I'm going to say it this way because of the way the question was asked, they said godly mate. And so I'm going to take it here. With a lot of Christian or godly women, they have this enormous list of must-haves right now when I meet you. And you have to step back and say, is that what God wants you to have right when you meet that person?
Or is that what you want?
Or is that what you want? For myself, I'm single, but one of my things, I never was one to really do the list written out per se, but I think we all have things in our mind of what we want in a man. But ultimately, I got to a place where I just started praying, God, the man that you want me to have, the man that's for me. And I recently had an experience that I was like, oh, I know this is God. I'm still very single, but the experience within itself versus how I felt some time ago and what I said wouldn't be, and where God kind of tucked me, I'm like, okay, this can't be anybody but God. But that's what I prayed for. I wanted whatever it was that he wanted for me, what was best for me. And so I think kind of when you put yourself on that path of thinking versus of I want, everything you want may not be as good as you think it's going to be for you.
Come on.
And so that's how I operate.
I know for a long time, I was like, Lord, I'm putting my career in your hands. Take my career. It's in your hands. Lord, take my finances. It's in your hands. Lord, I put my children in your hands. But for whatever reason, when it came to my love life, I was like, I got that, boy. I handle my love life. But God is supposed to be a part of every part of your life. And there's no part of your life that you can do without God.
Come on.
And for years and years, I said, Lord, I'll handle my love life. But clearly I haven't done that.
When we leave him out of it, we make a whole mess.
Yeah.
A whole mess when we leave him out of it.
Whole kids.
Yeah, we make whole kids. We make whole decisions. We make whole credit issues.
That's right.
Yes.
You know, when we leave him out of it, and sometimes we end up making mistakes that are so out of character. You know,
Right.
and like think about your language, the language you used when it wasn't God, and the way you carried yourself, and the arguments you had, and the words that you have put out into the atmosphere that you can't get back because it wasn't God.
Yeah.
And now we are so utterly dependent on grace to fix the mess that we made because we wouldn't wait.
Wow.
We wouldn't wait. And I love what you said about the love language piece. If we would like do the homework on what is love language. It's actually a concept that has been broken down, and you know there's so many various ways that we express our love. Like get to know self. Go online. It's free to take the love language test. You know, to see how do you verbalize, how do you express your love, and put that on self. I mean, even for those of us who are married, you know, Riley's here, and I'm so glad you're here. And there are ways that I love her that I'm deserving of that same kind of attention. And the way you dote on, you know, the way I dote on her, and you know, the way I selflessly give and sacrifice. Well, sometimes I'm deserving of the way I love her. You know, and so bringing self back. I love how you said I miss me. I miss me. Like who is me?
Yeah.
Who is that girl? You know, and before we can give ourselves to a companion, we should love ourselves. I mean, and that's a commandment.
Yeah.
Love yourself before you be
It
trying to
says
love
love
him.
your neighbor as you love yourself. Well,
Yeah.
if you don't love you, pour your neighbor.
And,
Yeah.
and
Your
how are you
neighbor's
going to treat
hit.
them?
Yep.
Yeah.
Your neighbor's his.
Yeah.
Thing I ain't got no name.
Lizzie has no neighbors.
No name.
I want to add something to what
okay.
you said with love language.
Yeah.
With the love language, I know we're talking about our relationship, but I want the children relationship too, in particular. So one of the things that that I realize is that yes, me and my husband, we understand the 5 love languages, and we know what our love language is, right? But it came to me that my children seemed to be in a place where they didn't seem like they were happy or, you know, all together. So I said, well, let's look at and see what your love languages are. So it's important that concept is really good to use with your children as well, because then you're sitting here. I found out with mine. I can't do it with anybody else, but with my own. There was one in particular that I was trying to love them, and I was showing them love the way I thought they should be loved, the way I wanted to be loved, the way I thought a child, you know, wanted to be loved. That wasn't her love language. So I had to apologize to her, and I had to let her know, I'm sorry. I didn't know that this is what really matters to you. I birthed you, and I still didn't know this is how to really reach you.
So you
And
mean
so-
to tell me when I barged in Josh's room and squeezed his face this morning and kissed all over his forehead and his cheeks, that was probably wrong?
That was not for Joshua.
That was for you.
That was all about you.
That's not love.
What is that?
It's not love.
For all these years, all these years, Josh was like, oh my God.
Here she comes again.
Right,
All in my personal space.
right.
Riley likes it.
That's Riley.
Riley just
Riley
accepts it,
tolerates
right?
it. She tolerates
does
it
that.
until she needs it.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. When she
Yeah.
needs it, she's Johnny
Yeah.
on the spot.
That's funny. That is good. I'm going to take that.
Okay.
Let's move
Go,
right along.
That was a good one.
go.
Nick, you had
I know, I like that every time.
I think that maybe we didn't. It's planning quality couple time.
That's a good one. Who is all married here? Who's married? In relationships? Okay.
So, well, usually, generally, we plan couple time. Most people plan couple time on anniversaries and special occasions like that. My husband and I, Valentine's Day, we're just practical. we think that's a holiday. It's beautiful for young love, but we're like, okay, wait till the day after the stuff goes on sale, and we get that, and we do Valentine's Day then. We order in Applebee's, have like in our bedroom like a blanket on the floor, watch movies, have like a picnic in our room. So that's so we don't have to spend money, but we know each other. It's practical and it's romantic. But I had to learn that my husband's idea of having quality couples time is not extravagant, never. It's just, what do you want to do? And so he's happy if I'm happy. So if I want to go on a trip, but he's now started to plan trips pre-COVID because he knows that's what I want to do. I like to travel. Because before it was like, I could just sit at home. And sometimes he did, and I would go on trips with her. And I was like, okay, that's road trip. But they're not going to see this, right? But he started to plan trips, and I was like, wait, you want to go on you want to go? You don't even like cruises. I like cruises. You want to go on a 7-day cruise? So, but he knows that's what I like. Okay. And so he's learned, and so I'm like, you planning? How many months you got to live? I don't understand. But it's just he has learned without telling me anything. God ain't told me nothing. It's just that he's starting to do what he knows that and it's become valuable to him. And even when we go to Mexico, and he's like, "Where you want to go?" And I'm like the little interpreter. He's like, "Ask him this. Tell him this." I know just enough Spanish to be dangerous.
Okay.
So it's about planning quality time based on what you both like, or what the dominant personality likes. If there's one person who don't give a care which way it goes, then just go with the person who absolutely cares about everything. So it can be from anything from making it simple and having Applebee's in your bed on your bedroom floor, or planning a trip. If you know that you'll enjoy each other and enjoy a little time away from the whole world pulling on both of you, it's important to do it. Absolutely important to do it, even when you don't think that it's necessary. When you feel so much better. He is such a great husband in Mexico. He's amazing. In Mexico. He doesn't do annoying things in Mexico. He's wonderful on cruises. It's like all the annoying things, like the way you speak.
We're not going to allow him to watch this.
He's not going to see this.
He's not going to watch it.
You allow him to.
No, he won't. But I'm just saying, he's great. Things are heightened when you just get away from your environment.
Yeah.
Even a beautiful environment like this, sometimes you just need to see different things.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to go to Mexico. You don't have to keep planning things. I know we joined leagues together. So bowling or something that we both like. So we do that, or we have movie nights, and again, it's not normally necessarily, it's either what I like or what he likes, or it's either or, it doesn't matter. But we pick and we choose. And right now, since we're both new to Columbus, before COVID, we were like, okay, let's go look at this, let's go do that, and just try to learn more about the city. And that was like, I felt like I was, 20 years old again and dating. It was nice, especially when I was going back and forth, and he was really in Columbus, Ohio, living, and I was in Indianapolis, and then I would come up for the weekend. I felt like I was going on a date. It was so exciting, so I was looking forward to it, and just that freshness and that newness, it did something. So we are empty nesters, but yet we're learning more about each other during this time.
Wow, that's great. That's good. That's awesome.
Any advice for couples through COVID? how do you keep the not necessarily the fire going, but any ideas?
Well, this is a fireside chat, so we can talk about fire.
Yeah. Any tips, with things being closed, and I have to say I did depend a lot on outside entertainment sometimes to keep the upkeep of my relationships, but listening to you guys let me know that I definitely need to do more home maintenance, not necessarily bedroom maintenance, but home maintenance.
I think cooking
Yeah.
is really good.
In the kitchen together.
Yeah, exploring the kitchen and just expanding your palate during a time like this. Buy some things, make some meals that you wouldn't normally make. And I love what Tisha said about just getting to know this city that you live in. There's some things that are outdoors that are safe to visit. Get to know the city. I found on YouTube 20 interesting things to do in the city of Cleveland that are mostly outdoors and mostly free. And so just being intentional about schedule. I think during COVID, when the days kind of morph into each other, it's really important to say, okay, well, date night will be on this particular day. And even if you don't go out, you still do something that is geared toward getting to know each other or trying something new. But the trying of new food, new recipes, I think that's helpful. And board games?
I was just going to say games.
Yeah.
You can do games.
Yeah.
Board
Get back to
games.
your childhood a little bit.
Yeah. Like Jacks.
And add a little something to it.
My husband said he was good at playing jacks when he was a kid. I was like,
My brother was.
I never had any coordination.
Yeah.
I
You
was
gotta
here.
have coordination.
And he had long fingers.
Board games help bring back laughter
Yeah.
into what might be some stressful.
I just had a flashback thinking about what we would look like doing Twister.
That would be so much fun.
That would be hilarious.
How about that?
Come out with a cramp here.
Help me, help you.
The phone a friend. I can't get up. No, we started walking. And it was so funny. We would go Facebook Live and he trying to walk ahead of me, talking about stay 6 feet away from me. Stay 6 feet. It was entertaining. We would
Funny.
just and we've always liked to work out together. So we went to the gym, but now we have some stuff in the basement. We just so we try and do different things, and so he likes to. So that is something that we have together that we both enjoy, working out, and so just doing things that that you both enjoy.
Yeah.
He likes cooking. I like eating. Hey.
Yep, that's
So
my
whenever
problem
he's
now.
cooking, I'm like,
Yes.
maybe I should try to join him.
Or just cook something yourself.
Riley, what do young people do during COVID to date? How are y'all
Go to the
dating?
drive-in.
Oh,
Is
that's
it drive-in?
Up the street, Metro. We
Yeah.
go there. We'll go to like the little nature trails and we'll like walk through there and stuff.
Cool.
Whatever.
Nature trails.
Thank you.
Don't take my stuff.
That's why we're here.
She don't want to see you on the trail, okay? No.
She don't want to see you at the
We don't want to
drive-in.
see you on the trail.
Make sure she's not gonna be there on the
Right.
day. She's gonna
Make
be
sure
on
she's
there.
at home.
No drive-ins and no nature trails.
Right.
That's not love, Mom.
It's not.
Who's next?
No.
Can we not read?
No.
Can you just pass it around?
No.
Just pass it around. Just pass it around.
She don't even know if she wants.
And I'm gonna move to the next question.
I just want to. Okay, that's fine.
Intrigued.
Now we all want to know.
Yeah, she's gonna pass it around.
I think it's a bad question.
It's not a bad question.
Okay.
No. Let me
I'll
see.
read it. You think I should read it?
No.
Okay, I think it's a bad It's not a bad question, but okay.
Okay, what was your reservations about the question?
What is it?
Okay. No. I'll take this this one.
It wasn't. It's not a bad question.
Okay.
I just didn't know if we had any real
It was much.
feedback.
I'm gonna take it. Okay. Is smoking weed really that bad?
No.
And why does it have a negative connotation?
I don't know.
Knock the eyes. I'm good. That's all I can say.
This is a great question.
It
Raise your
is.
hand if you're in healthcare. First of all, seriously, let's dive into this medically.
Okay.
And there are a lot of great things that we definitely, especially if people have Tourette's, cancer, glaucoma.
But you know good well.
That ain't what they meant.
That's not what they mean. Okay.
I'm just saying, smoke your weed, girl.
We can talk about amongst friends, right?
Yes, and you my friend.
Well, yeah, you can talk
what we
about.
do.
Yeah, but my reservation was this. I just kind of scanned the group of girlfriends here,
Yeah.
and in my mind, I'm like, I don't think anybody can really speak to that.
I can speak to that.
I mean, I don't know what people do, but that was So
Even if you don't smoke weed, I think you've been around people that probably have smoked weed, or you know, you may have had a contact high. Help me! Help me!
help you. As a matter of fact, first of all, you don't have to smoke weed. You can eat it now.
I
You
was
can
the
eat it.
one to be kind of like, I'm gonna
I
pass
got you.
over this question.
I got you.
Read the question again.
Okay.
Read the question again.
I think it's fine. Is smoking weed really that bad? And why does it have a negative connotation?
Okay.
I don't.
So me
That's a good
personally,
question. The
I'll
negative
address
part.
it
Yeah.
from my perspective.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think it's a horrible thing. However, I think that the negative connotation is for those of us, me, that really don't smoke it, but I have smoked it in the past 5 years.
You and Obama have.
And
Yeah.
We see each other.
I smoked it in the past 5 years, and my experience was a funny experience, but I think the negative connotation comes from that it does different things to you. We're not talking about medical marijuana. We're talking about getting high. You know, we chilling, we getting
Yeah,
high.
we're not talking about
We're not-
that.
I mean, we know that, there are medicinal purposes with medical marijuana. But for me, I prefer not to do it because I didn't have full mental control. So I think that speaks somewhat to the negative aspect of it.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for you.
I got going to jail.
Oh, you know what? That's the common
I'm
reason
not
of
going to
drugs.
jail.
It ain't.
I like my
It
freedom.
ain't legal.
It's good. I'm not trying to
not
make nobody.
legal
It's
yet.
not
It's
legal.
not
Look,
legal.
I'm
It's
good.
not
I'm
legal.
great. I'm good. I'm great.
It's not legal in
I'm too
every
cute to go to
state.
jail for that.
Okay.
And I would say the other thing coming from somewhat of a medical, not completely medical, but perspective is now that what's happening now with weed is people are making it, and so it's different than what was done
Back in
way
the
back
day.
in the day.
Absolutely.
It smells different,
Yeah.
and that people are putting fentanyl in it
That
and
is
some
so
other
true.
things. So now what is happening now with the concentration that weed has right now is so more addictive and dangerous. So someone could be on you. They have pictures and like Atlanta Police Department and others that have documented this, how a person can be strung out. You see them, they're out there, they're naked and everything, and they're going crazy from it because then they got a bad dosage, because people don't care about who's getting it. They're caring about the money they're making off of it, right? So they're making it like that, and people are literally dying of a heart attack, point blank. The other part is people are vaping it, and so when they're vaping THC, as it's called, that's very hard as well. So there's not a lot of studies just yet, but we know that it does damage to the lungs. We know that there's, so it has some damaging properties to it. So it's not really safe to do. And then when you go around and you got people where if you can't go a day without it,
It's a
that's an
problem.
addiction.
That's it.
That's
It
a
is.
problem.
Problem.
And so you got let something else control you, and God never meant for us to be controlled
That's
like
right.
that.
Anything.
That's good.
And so I think when it comes to a question like that, we can sit here and, try to go back and forth. But whoever asked that question is probably like, they don't know what they're talking about anyway. I'm going to keep smoking my weed.
Or maybe
And
not.
that's their business.
Right. That's
Yeah.
right.
That's their business, and that's their preference. But understand that it does alter their mind. You know, you may not be in good conscious of what you're doing and what's happening. But if that's what you want to do you.
And to that, to the altering mind piece, some people who smoke it daily, multiple times a day, I believe, my opinion, that their system has adapted
Yeah.
to the intake of that. So where they feel like they're functioning fine, or, I'm cool, I still could drive my car, or I still could do my job, yeah, that has become your norm. But for somebody like me,
Leave it
Right.
alone.
It's not for you.
So what about
Yeah.
alcohol? Does alcohol alter your mind?
Oh yeah.
It has a shorter half-life though,
Okay.
Yeah.
so it doesn't stay as long
Okay.
in your system.
Now my thing is, I don't want to be around anybody that's smoking it because I've had enough contact high in my life. That you can keep it to yourself.
Yeah, we got time for one more.
I want to say one more thing though, but I hope that if there is anyone that watches later or something like that, I hope that that is not your coping strategy or anyone's coping strategy
Right.
for dealing with whatever the real issues are.
Yeah.
Whether it
Dead on.
be
'Cause you can't smoke it away.
marijuana,
No, you can't.
alcohol,
You definitely
or
can't.
if you're popping pills
Yeah.
or
Right.
whatever. Those are not the answer. And
Right.
so I pray that that is not the
Jesus.
coping strategy.
Amen. That was really good.
now that's
Okay.
girlfriend
That's
talk.
good.
That was very
Okay,
good.
right.
Girlfriend
Awesome.
talk.
Thank you
my
for that
bad,
question.
My bad, my
Yes.
bad.
Amen.
Okay,
Next
last
question. This the last question?
Yep, that's it.
Oh. Okay, so the next question is, I think it's funny. Why men lie or tell half truths?
Oh, Lord.
How much time we got?
right.
That's a whole.
I'm gonna just eat my cashews.
She
Right.
just go in her
Hey,
cashews.
man, answer
I'm
that.
gonna say this.
Let's ask the dog.
I'm gonna flip it a little bit because anyone that has spent any time with me in conversation know that I am just an advocate for men and fairness. Why do women lie and tell half truths?
We talking about men right now. That ain't your question. That ain't your question.
Slipping script.
Okay, what's wrong with her?
I think as women we have a tendency to always point the finger at men this, men that, but we take ourselves out of the equation of what we're pointing our finger at them for. And good question. Men do lie and tell half truths, but women do lie and tell half truths.
So why do women lie?
Well, why do we?
I
Here.
definitely tell half truths so it can kind of win. Like I think sometimes I've found myself it being more of a competitive thing sometimes in relationships. So, but definitely sometimes want to win. I don't want to be wrong in this situation, so I can't tell you everything. Just what you need to know.
I think we have agendas.
I do, yeah.
You know, we have a bottom line that we're trying to, and whatever it takes to get to the bottom line. Sometimes we tweak the truth to get to the bottom line.
And that's and I'm not a man, but I think sometimes they lie and tell half truth. I might be.
Riley was like,
Feeling vulnerable. It's okay, right? They don't want to feel vulnerable around us because I think, as a woman, I think sometimes I've taken advantage of it when I know, everything. Oh, tell me everything, right? So now I feel like I have an upper hand. So I may take advantage of him. when he
That's
does
good
that.
too. I think another reason why some men lie and tell half truths is because no matter how much we as women ask for the truth, a lot of times you can't really, as women,
That
handle their
Yeah.
truth. Because we've made up, especially when you talk about dating and wanting to hear what you want to hear, women make up what they need to hear and feel in their minds, and then they try to impose it on the man, and they want him to say and do certain things. But if he was really real with what you thinking about, and he ain't thinking about nothing. Trust me, when you ask a guy, a man, what he is not thinking about nothing. But you gonna browbeat him until he tells you.
Cause he's thinking about something.
But
Sometimes he's not.
he's not thinking about anything of significance to what you want him
Okay.
to say
That's
to
a difference.
you.
That's a difference.
You know,
He
we'll
thinking
ask,
about
what are you
something.
thinking about? Because we all up in their face and we think we cute and we want to hear him say something real special and romantic.
Do I look fat in
I'm
this?
thinking about
and
it. Like, I'm thinking
Yeah.
about it.
Exactly, that's it. He's
And
thinking
so-
about the Lakers and
And
he's
he
thinking
can't
about
tell you that he's thinking about the Lakers.
because
Right.
then you gonna blow that junk up like, really? I'm sitting here looking all like this and you thinking about the Lakers? If you want to go to the game? You want to watch the game? Is that what you don't want to be with me?
And he just looking just like that.
Exactly.
So and he trying not to lie.
Right.
So he knows next time I'm gonna lie.
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
gonna say I'm thinking about how beautiful you are.
So do they lie
Yeah.
because of the way we respond to their truth?
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yep.
People lie also because of judgment. They don't want to be judged.
That's good.
That too.
That's real good.
They don't want to be judged.
And everybody walking around talking about no judgment. I'm not the judge.
Oh, but I'm judging. But I'm judging.
Yeah.
But I'm judging. And I'm
Yeah.
judging hard.
Yeah.
Real hard. Judge Judy judge.
Yeah, we are.
That'll judge Judy.
Yeah. So there you have it. We are Fireside Chat with our girlfriends.
I'm glad
Flourishing.
y'all are here.
I'm so glad I got the chance to hang out with you guys
Yes.
and just share and fight the bugs and
Right.
watch little Cooper sleep.
Right. 'cause that's what we
Burn
do.
out.
Yeah. Can we do this again?
Absolutely.
I would love to do
this again.
Yes. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
You flourish, we flourish. I flourish, you flourish, we flourish. Hey, right.
That's good.
2020.
Put these masks back on.
Okay.
Right. Ruin the party.
Right.
Oh.
Mine is inside.
Oh.
So do you ever